Hey everyone, welcome to Reality TV News Update, the place where we bring you the latest updates, fun moments, and behind-the-scenes stories you won't want to miss. The Big Brother 27 finale night was supposed to be a celebration of strategy, endurance, and survival. The lights of the stage glowed bright as the final three house guests prepared for the live broadcast that would decide the winner. The audience was buzzing with excitement. Fans at home waited for tears, hugs, and a champion. No one expected the night to spiral into chaos, fear, and shock that would change the show forever. Eva Pearl had been one of the most talked-about players all season. She was bold, unpredictable, and emotionally intense. Some loved her fearless gameplay. Others feared her temper. Throughout the season, she clashed with multiple house guests, but none more than Keanu Soto. Their rivalry had fueled weeks of drama. From alliance betrayals to screaming matches in the living room, their hatred had grown deeper with each passing episode. Keanu Soto, on the other hand, played a calm, controlled game. He was known for his patience and emotional discipline. While Eva exploded in arguments, Keanu stayed quiet and let her self-destruct. Many fans believed that was why Eva hated him so deeply. She felt outplayed and outsmarted by someone who never raised his voice. On finale night, Eva and Keanu stood only feet apart on the living room set. The finalists waited as Julie prepared to announce the third-place finisher. The air was tense. Eva was visibly shaking. Her jaw was tight and her eyes were locked onto Keanu with a burning glare. Keanu avoided eye contact and stared at the floor, knowing any reaction could trigger her. When Julie announced that Eva Pearl had finished in third place, the room fell silent. Eva did not clap. She did not smile. She stood frozen for several seconds as the reality of her loss crashed down on her. Then, she let out a sharp laugh that cut through the studio like glass. She stared at Keanu and said quietly that this was not over. The microphones picked up her words and producers immediately looked nervous. Julie tried to move the show forward, but Eva stepped closer to Keanu. The audience began to whisper. Keanu finally looked up and their eyes met for a brief moment that felt like a storm about to break. Then, Eva snapped. She pointed at Keanu and screamed that he ruined her life. She said he destroyed her game and her future. Her voice rose higher and higher as security started to move from the sides of the stage. The audience was in shock. Julie attempted to calm her, but Eva no longer listened. Then she said the words that froze everyone in the room. She shouted that she would kill him. The crowd gasped. Keanu stumbled backward in shock. Julie froze in place. For a split second, no one moved as the weight of those words settled over the studio. Then security rushed in from both sides and placed themselves between Eva and Keanu. Eva continued screaming that he deserved it. She blamed him for everything she lost. She shouted that he took her dream from her and that she would never forgive him. Her face was red with rage and tears streamed down her cheeks. Keanu could barely speak. He held his hands up and backed away slowly. He looked terrified and confused. He said nothing. The audience began shouting for security. The live broadcast cameras tried to cut away, but the moment was already burned into television history. Julie finally spoke with a trembling voice and told security to escort Eva out immediately. Eva resisted at first. She tried to break free and move toward Keanu again, but the guards held her firmly. She continued screaming his name as they dragged her toward the exit. As Eva was pulled from the stage, she shouted one final threat back at him. The doors slammed shut behind her and the room fell into stunned silence. The finale was stopped for several long minutes as production scrambled to regain control. Keanu was taken backstage for safety. The audience sat in disbelief, unsure if what they had just witnessed was real. Julie returned to the stage alone and addressed the viewers at home. She said the show took all threats seriously and that Eva Pearl had been permanently removed from the building and from all Big Brother events. She said the safety of the house guests and staff was the top priority. When the show resumed, the joy of the finale was gone. The energy was broken. The remaining finalists looked shaken. No one smiled. The celebration felt hollow. After the broadcast ended, producers released a statement confirming that Eva Pearl was officially expelled from the Big Brother franchise. She would not be invited to any reunion specials or future seasons. All post-show appearances were canceled. Legal steps were being taken due to her threat against Keanu Soto. Keanu remained under protection for the rest of the night. His family was contacted and advised of the situation. He later released a short statement saying he was shaken but grateful for the support and quick response from production. Social media exploded within minutes. Clips of the moment spread across every platform. Fans were divided between shock, anger, and sadness. Some claimed Ava was mentally overwhelmed by the pressure of the game. Others said there was no excuse for such a threat. Former Big Brother players spoke out in support of Keanu. Many said they had never seen anything like it in the history of the show. Some admitted they had always worried about Ava's explosive behavior, but never expected it to reach this level. Behind the scenes, it was revealed that producers had noticed growing instability in Ava during the final weeks. She had reportedly been placed under increased monitoring. Still, no one predicted that the finale would end this way. Keanu later shared that Ava had sent him hostile messages earlier in the season that were never aired. He said he always feared her anger but trusted that production would keep everyone safe. For Ava, the fallout was immediate and devastating. Sponsorship deals vanished overnight, her social media accounts were suspended, former fans turned away. Many called for permanent cancellation and accountability. Friends of Ava released statements saying she needed help and support rather than public destruction. Others said she crossed a line that could never be uncrossed. The finale winner was crowned later that night, but the victory was overshadowed by the incident. The moment that should have celebrated gameplay became a moment of crisis. Big Brother 27 would not be remembered for strategy or alliances. It would be remembered for the night a player made a death threat on live television and was removed in front of the world. Weeks later, fans still debated whether the pressure of the game broke Ava or whether her anger had always been there. Psychologists analyzed the footage. Media outlets replayed the clip endlessly. It became one of the darkest moments in reality television history. Keanu slowly returned to public life. He appeared in interviews where he spoke carefully and calmly about forgiveness and moving forward. He said he did not want to live in fear or hatred. His maturity earned widespread respect. Ava disappeared from the public eye completely. No interviews, no apologies, no explanations. Just silence. Some say she is receiving treatment. Others claim she is planning a comeback. But for most viewers, her story ended the moment those words left her mouth on finale night. Big Brother 27 ended not with fireworks and celebration, but with sirens, fear, and a reminder of how thin the line can be between entertainment and real danger. And for everyone who watched that night, one truth remains clear. The game did not just break hearts, it broke reality.
Big Brother 27 finale was meant to be a night of celebration, emotion, and victory. The stage lights glowed bright as the final house guests stood in silence, waiting for the last results. The audience inside the studio waited with excitement and tension. Millions of fans at home leaned forward in anticipation. No one knew that this night would become one of the darkest moments in the history of the show. Ava Pearl had been one of the boldest players of the season. She played with fire, emotion, and fearlessness. Some viewers admired her honesty and intensity. Others worried about her temper and instability. From the first week, she clashed with several house guests, but her fiercest rivalry was always with Keanu Soto. Their tension grew with every week inside the house and turned into open hatred by the final days. Keanu Soto played a very different game. He stayed calm and patient under pressure. While Ava exploded in conflicts, Keanu stayed quiet and composed. He focused on strategy and alliances instead of emotion. This difference only made Ava hate him more. She believed he manipulated others while pretending to be innocent. Keanu believed Ava destroyed herself through rage. On the finale night, Ava stood on the stage beside Keanu and the final contestant. Her arms were crossed tightly, and her jaw was rigid. The host prepared to reveal who would place third. The silence inside the studio felt heavy and unnatural. When Ava Pearl was announced as the third-place finisher, she did not react like the others. She did not clap or smile. She stared ahead with empty eyes as if the words had not reached her yet. Then something inside her snapped. She laughed once, but there was no joy in it, only anger and bitterness. She turned slowly toward Keanu and told him that he ruined everything. At first, her voice was low and controlled. The microphone still caught every word. The host tried to move the moment forward, but Ava took a step closer to Keanu. Members of production became alert. The audience felt the danger rising. Suddenly, Ava screamed that he had destroyed her life. She accused him of stealing her win and turning everyone against her. Her voice cracked with rage and grief. Keanu stepped backward in shock. The crowd began to murmur in fear. The host called her name and begged her to calm down. Then Ava shouted the words that stopped the room. She said that she would kill him. Time seemed to freeze. The audience gasped in horror. Keanu stood frozen with fear written across his face. The host could not speak. For one unbearable second, no one moved. Then, security rushed onto the stage and placed themselves between Ava and Keanu. Ava fought against them and tried to push forward. She continued screaming his name and repeating the threat. Tears streamed down her face as her body shook with rage. Keanu raised his hands and backed away slowly. He said nothing. He looked terrified and confused as the guards pulled her further from him. The host ordered security to remove Ava from the stage at once. The show was forced into sudden chaos. Ava resisted as they dragged her toward the exit. She shouted that she would never forgive him. The doors closed behind her, and the studio fell into stunned silence. Production stopped the finale for several long minutes. Cameras cut away. Crew members rushed across the stage. Keanu was escorted backstage for his safety. The audience sat quietly, unsure of what was happening or if the show would continue. When the broadcast returned, the host stood alone under the lights. Her voice shook as she addressed the viewers. She confirmed that Ava Pearl had been removed from the building and that all threats were being taken seriously. She said that the safety of everyone involved was the highest priority. The finale continued, but the mood was gone. The remaining finalists looked shaken and pale. No victory felt joyful anymore. When the winner of Big Brother 27 was finally crowned, the applause sounded weaker than ever before. The celebration felt hollow. Within minutes of the broadcast ending, social media exploded. Clips of Ava screaming spread across every platform. Fans were shocked and divided. Some said the pressure of the game had broken her. Others said no stress could excuse a threat of murder on live television. Production released an official statement confirming that Ava Pearl was permanently expelled from the Big Brother franchise. All future appearances were canceled. Legal authorities were notified. She would not be allowed back for reunions or special events. Keanu released a short statement later that night. He said he was shaken and grateful for the fast response. He thanked the fans for their support and said he hoped for peace and healing. His calm response earned respect across the fan community. Former house guests spoke out with shock and sorrow. Many said they had never seen anything like it. Some admitted they worried about Ava's behavior during the season, but never expected it to reach such a dangerous level. Sponsors dropped Ava within hours. Her public image collapsed overnight. Accounts were suspended, invitations were withdrawn. The path she once hoped to build after the show vanished in a single moment. Weeks later, the incident was still discussed everywhere. Experts analyzed the footage. Fans continued to argue. Some wanted forgiveness and help for Ava. Others insisted that her actions crossed a line that could never be erased. Keanu slowly returned to the public spotlight through interviews. He spoke about fear and forgiveness. He said he refused to let anger define his future. His quiet strength touched many viewers who had watched him almost lose his life to a threat spoken in anger. Ava disappeared from public view completely. No interviews followed, no apologies appeared. Only silence remained where her fame once stood. Big Brother 27 ended not with celebration, but with alarm and heartbreak. The finale that was meant to crown a champion instead delivered a warning to the world. The game had pushed someone beyond control, and millions of people watched it happen in real time.